Thank you so much. Thank you, sir. Y'all can do your own event, sir. Oh, no, it's all right. Wouldn't it be nice to have a president who will serve him just as enthusiastically as he'll serve us? Wouldn't it be nice to have a president who cares just as much about protecting the lives of those who protest us as those who stand at our side? Wouldn't it be nice to have a president who does not believe in violence against those who disagree with us? Are you not proud to be an American in a country that makes room for all of us, but whose values include rejecting hate and rejecting those who would deny science when it could save lives, rejecting racism, and embracing one another for a better future for this country? And don't you feel a little sorry for a president who finds it necessary to draw this kind of support? But it's okay, sir, because when Joe Biden is president, you will be safer too. I want to thank the mayor. The job of mayor has never been more demanding or more difficult. And yet mayors are getting things done, delivering for Americans. Matter of fact, I believe we'd be better off if we get Washington to run a little more like our best-run cities and towns rather than the other way around. It's one of the many reasons I'm so excited about getting Joe Biden elected. Folks, I have told the Biden-Harris campaign I would go anywhere to support the cause. I didn't know that would mean going into the mind of Mike Pence for a while to help with debate prep. I didn't know it would mean going on Fox News quite as often as it has. But when they told you that part of what they needed was to go to St. Pete, I was pretty excited. Hey, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. We're bigger than him. Don't worry about it. So, okay, dude, but can I finish my remarks? Like, are you afraid to hear what I have to say? Yes. Are you afraid to hear what I have to say? Yes. Are you afraid of what I have to say? Do you denounce white supremacy? Good. Then we agreed on something. That's a beginning point. See if you can get your president to do the same thing. Now, sorry, but all of these, congratulations. Good. All these folks came to see us speak, and we'd love to be able to talk to them. All right, he's going to keep doing his thing. That's not going to stop us, is it? Folks, Florida is at the center of the political universe right now. You have so much power. And there's an awful lot of the vote that's still waiting. There's an awful lot of folks who are still doing one of two things. Some of them are still making up their mind on whether to vote. They are among the many, many Republicans who have said this far but no further. They're among the many, many people who had one of those red hats 4 years ago but now have said, Donald Trump no longer speaks for me. And then we got some other folks out there who have always voted on our side when they voted, but they haven't always voted. We got the folks still deciding how to vote. We got the folks deciding whether to vote. And we need to get the word out loud and clear that every single vote is critically important to the future of this country, especially right here in Florida. Now we know what we're up against as a country right now. We are in the middle of one of the worst mass casualty events in American history. But this president says we're rounding the corner. Remember when he told us it would go away in April? He said it would magically go away? Well, that's exactly how true it is that we're rounding the corner. We've been rounding the corner so much it feels like we're back where we started, and we can't go on like this. We want our lives back, and that will only happen when we have a president who acknowledges reality and is ready to defeat, not deny, this pandemic. We know what we're up against when the President of the United States instructs a white supremacist group to stand by. Stand by for what? That is not the American way. Hate is not the American way, and it will have no home in the White House when we get a new and better president. We know this president mocks Christians behind closed doors and doesn't seem interested in that scripture that counsels, I was hungry and you did not feed me. I was a stranger, which is another word for immigrant, and you did not welcome me. We know what we're up against when we stand up and insist that this is a country for people of every religion and of no religion equally, and that God does not belong to a political party. That God does not belong to a political party. And when people come to different views in good faith on an issue that is deeply felt, and many of us can't agree on exactly how to make the choice, the next best thing we can agree on is who should make the choice, a woman in consultation with her doctor and her conscience. But we're dealing with a president who doesn't want any health care decisions to be easy for people to make because he's in court right now trying to tear down the law that gives us pre-existing condition coverage. Remember when he told us his health care plan would be ready in 2 weeks? It's been 2 weeks for 4 years. It's not going to happen. Luckily, we already have a pretty good health care bill called the Affordable Care Act, and we're going to make it better by making it stronger and expanding coverage to every American. And we know what we're up against because we know there are some who speak of family values but do not believe that some of our families are even entitled to exist. We who have marriages that exist by the grace of a single vote on the United States Supreme Court. A single vote. And now we have seen someone added to that Supreme Court against the objections of the American people, appointed by a president who lost the popular vote, confirmed by senators who represent a minority of the American people. This president claimed he was going to be the most pro-LGBT president in history. I think we knew as soon as he said it that, like most things he said, it wasn't true. He did say one thing that was true. He was in Section 60 of Arlington National Cemetery, a place that I visited because there are people I know who are beneath the blades of grass there. And standing on that sacred ground, he said, I don't get it. And for once, he was telling the truth. He doesn't get it because he doesn't understand what it means to serve your country. We do, and let's get a military family like the Bidens in the White House because they won't have any problem getting it. But that's all I have to say about what we're up against. Because actually, I'm also here to talk about what it is we're for and who it is we're for. Where we could get to in just a few days. The country we might have, and the reason I am so enthusiastically supporting Joe Biden and Kamala Harris to be our next president and vice president. You know, it's, yeah, let's hear it for that. It says something about somebody when you come to like them more when you're competing against them, and that's exactly what happened here. Joe Biden was the same gracious, decent, kind person when we were running against each other as he is now when I'm at his side trying to help him become president, because he's somebody who sees the humanity and the value in everybody. Maybe you supported me for president. Maybe you supported one of the 20-some other candidates who ran for president on the Democratic Party. But now we are all on one team because we're all for higher wages for workers in this country. Because we are all for the idea that you should be treated equally no matter who you are, no matter who you love, no matter how you identify, and that the LGBTQ community deserves full equality under the law. We're here because we are for a future when America finally lives up to that ground truth, that black lives matter, and we're not afraid to say it. We are for the idea of supporting educators with a Secretary of Education who believes in public education. So you see, this isn't just about what we're against, this is what we're for. We're for a climate where a next generation can actually thrive. And we're for handling questions of science and medicine by paying attention to what scientists and doctors have to tell us instead of denying them when they say something that's politically inconvenient. That's what we're for. But it's not even just about the policy. We know the policies need to change. And one of the reasons we're winning this election is the American people already agree with us on the major policy questions of the day. But it's also about character. It's about decency. You don't have to be a diehard Democrat to know that America is better off when we have a president who gets up in the morning and his first instinct is to bring us together, not to divide us apart for political purposes. Wouldn't it be nice to have a president with those priorities again? Wouldn't it be nice to have a president that you maybe didn't have to hear about what they did yesterday because it's not punching you in the face all the time? Wouldn't it be nice to have a president where you turn on the TV and you see your president and your blood pressure actually goes down a little bit instead of up through the roof? Wouldn't that be nice? That's what we have a chance to be for. And that represents help on the way for local leaders like the mayor here and everybody who is battling this pandemic, for state officials who are trying to do the right thing, and working in partnership with the U.S. Congress, with members like Charlie Crist, who put people over party, and a U.S. Senate that's finally going to respect the wishes of the American people instead of dithering on pandemic relief while ramming through a justice that most of us didn't even want. This is our chance, but it's all up to you. So what I'm asking you to do, and look, if you're here, you get it, and chances are you've either already voted or you got a plan to get that vote in. But what I'm asking of you is to think of somebody in your life who may not pay attention to an ad they see on TV and may not pay attention to a speech from some mayor from Indiana, but will pay attention when somebody in their lives calls them and reaches out to them and says, I need you to vote. And if you don't want to vote for yourself, vote for me. Vote for my health care. Vote for my marriage. Vote for my rights. Whatever it is that makes this personal for you, because all politics is personal, and the reason we care about the decisions they make in those big white buildings is that they find their way into our lives, our marriages, our workplace, our doctor's offices. That's what's at stake. So will you commit to thinking of one more person in your life and making sure they got a plan to vote? That in itself is an act of hope. And if you deliver on that, and if all of us do what is required of us these next 6 days, we're going to be proud of what we did. Look, here's the thing about 2020. It sucks. But 2020 is not over yet. And we get to write the last and most important chapter in the story of 2020. We're doing it right now, and we will look back on this moment with pride. Thank you for caring. Thank you for coming. Thank you for voting. And let's give ourselves a lot to celebrate in a few short days. Thank you.